Bag of gold. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. How are you guys doing? Good to be back. I see a lot of familiar faces in the chat. Did I miss a lot going on in the news this week? Crazy stuff going on in the world. The enemies are crashing out. They're crashing out big time, and we're going to be getting into all of it in this stream. This is going to be a long one. Glad to be back streaming. Man, like I've said many times, I just need breaks with the streaming stuff. I'm not like these other guys that can stream all day. I'm a normal person too. I go, I poop, I do my thing. Just like you guys, bro. Just like you guys. And streaming makes me nuts. So I need a break once in a while. But I'm glad to be back. Grateful to see all of you guys in the chat. You guys are yapping about a whole bunch of nonsense as usual. ID, thank you for the party hat gift. I don't know what these new chat gifts are, but yeah, it's great. Have you seen Neon chimping out on 𝐂𝐤𝐳𝐸? Not fully. We're going to get into it in this stream. I have it all pulled up and organized. There's so much stuff to cover, like clavicular crashing out, Nick talking about me multiple times again. You got traders in Saudi. Tommy Robinson talking about men coming over to shag his daughter. A lot of ridiculous things. But it's like the enemies are just humiliating themselves right now. We don't even have to do anything. We don't even have to move a chess piece. Allah is just like, I got you. I got you. Don't worry about it. So it's pretty funny. Where's your friend? Beck is still up in New York, unfortunately. We'll be back together soon, running up the streams. But in the meantime, we're both doing solo stuff, so we can at least keep getting content out. Neon sold his soul. This is nothing new. Should we just get right into it? Should we just get right into it? Let me pull it up. So disappointing, bro. So disappointing to see. What do you guys think of the new lighting? I fixed it up a bit. How's it look? Does it look good? You like the new setup in the background? Got that light back there. Adds a nice little touch to the room. It's not bad, not bad. Neon got magicked on live. And I've met this guy. Oh, I have a story for you guys. I have stories for you guys. Because, man, I was supposed to have a really big announcement coming up. And I was putting a lot of time behind the scenes toward it. And then it ended up getting canceled. So it was kind of a waste of time. And I didn't get to stream too. But I have a really funny story. Some of you guys might have seen the article. Some people have been sending it to me. An article came out on it. It's kind of ridiculous. But, yeah. Thank you guys for all the follows on Kick too. In about like 30 minutes to an hour, we're going to be switching off of YouTube and heading over just to Kick instead of staying on YouTube. I want to try out that strategy. So if you don't already have a Kick account, because you need an account for an hour to be able to chat. You called it Sunny a while ago on how all those guys, Aiden, Nick, Clav, Neon, they're all BSers. You never stayed silent about it. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it from the start, right? It's like, how many times do you need to see these people stabbing you in the back to learn your lesson? And there's a saying, the wise don't learn from their own mistakes. They learn from others. And I've been friends with 𝐂𝐤𝐳𝐸 for about 4 years now. And the amount of people that I've seen stab him in the back, it's been eye-opening to me. To where I don't even feel like going out and building relationships with a lot of these figures in the space. And I keep telling him, I've told him over and over, Nick's going to stab you in the back. Clavicular's not a real friend. And what do we see? Like this. Kissing the wall. Kissing it. But does it surprise me? No. Not even in the slightest. Sonny, what does it mean like selling your soul? Selling your soul is taking money or fame in return of not being able to say the truth. Or you have to push an agenda that in your heart you know isn't truth. So realistically, with selling your soul, like there's no such thing as your soul fully being sold. You can always come back. But a lot of them get tricked into thinking that, so they just go deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole. Look at someone like Sam Smith as a prime example of that. Probably did something with kids allegedly, and just now it manifests into him going on stage and twerking his butt in front of children, bro. Al, can I get some sound effects out here, please?
Top VIP of the 𝐂𝐤𝐳𝐸.
This is all I have. I have repent.
The top VIP of the 𝐂𝐤𝐳𝐸.
I have the top VIP of the 𝐂𝐤𝐳𝐸. And the scream. You have to let people do what they do. Stop putting expectations on them. It's also about stopping to put these people on pedestals. That's what I'm sick of, especially the influencers that sell out. Like, 𝐂𝐫𝐞 should be excommunicated. No one should be collabing with him. No one should be watching him, liking his stuff anymore. This guy's finished in my eyes. He's done. But anyways, let's just get right into the first segment of the day. I'm watching the stream while taking a poop. That's great.
The top VIP
That's
of
you.
the goyim.
Top VIP right there. You're number one. Numero uno. That's you. I'm back on X2. I'm sick of just scrolling and not giving my 2 cents. And real quick, before we get into the segment, one thing I got to say that out of all 𝐒𝐶nico's rants, some of which I agree with, some I disagree with, my favorite is, let's start just saying kufar.
The top VIP of the goyim.
Let's start just saying kufar. You're going to see. I love it. I'm on board because that's what these people are, especially someone like Nick. Kufar, to my understanding, is someone who got the message, understands it's the truth, and then willingly rejects it. Nick knows Islam is the truth. 100% in his heart. Without a doubt. And not only does he reject it, he craps on it publicly. Ultimate kafir behavior. Prince of Texas, thank you for the 50.
The top VIP.
No, wrong one. See, I have 4 sound effects today. So this is what you guys are getting. Good, bad, stupid. You guys are all getting the same ones. Thank you guys for the follows on Kick. Like I said, I'm going to be switching over there soon. But anyways, for those of you guys that didn't see, Neon sold his soul for about the millionth time now. Him getting, his legs up on air with strippers wasn't bad enough. Now he's switching over to hypnotists with 𝐒𝐨𝐬s. And I've met this guy. I have a little story for you guys in a bit. So let's just watch it.
I know what you need pretty well.
I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous. All right.
Just close my eyes.
Yeah, just close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Come, I'm gonna hypnotize him. Just close.
Gonna hypnotize him.
Awesome.
Wearing Balenciaga. For those of you that don't remember,
Exhale slowly.
Balenciaga got exposed for basically being pedos, allegedly. They had ads where they had little tiny kids dressed up super sexually. I cringe still to this day every time I see someone wearing Balenciaga.
One more time. Open your eyes real quick. Go like this for me. Go like this. Look at these 2 fingers. Open those 2 fingers. Notice it start coming closer and closer as if magnets are pulling and tugging. You're going to notice his fingers getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Now imagine these magnets pressing, pushing, squeezing, just getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Now imagine there's a solid brass metal ring around these fingers and it's just squeezing these fingers together. And in a moment, you're going to find whatever's holding you back in your mind, keeping you stuck, is now moved into these fingers. These fingers are now stuck. That stuckness moves through your hands. You notice your hands are now stuck. That stuckness moves through your arms, through your body, and your body's now stuck. Close your eyes. You notice your eyes are stuck. Can't open it. Now, when I say the word sleep, your eyes will stay closed. Your body will relax. You're going to focus on the sound of my voice now with 5, 4, sleep all the way down. Be relaxing all the way deep now with 5, 4, 3, and sleep all the way down. All the way deep. Completely relaxing your mind and your body. Completely letting go, just focusing on the sound of my voice. Anything you think about or focus on
So
besides
creepy,
the sound of
bro.
my voice allows you to continue to focus on the sound of my voice. And I want you to take a deep breath now with 5, 4, 3, 2, and sleep. All the way down, all the way deep. I want you now to imagine yourself at your childhood home. And you walk in through the front door. You look around.
This is black magic, by the way, if it's not obvious enough.
You look at the wall, the windows, the furniture. And you look at your feet, your bare feet on the ground. Notice what the floor is made out of. And I want you now to walk towards your room. And you notice there's a door there. Look at the door. As you walk towards the door, I want you to stare at that doorknob, however it looks. In a moment, not yet, you're going to put your hand on that doorknob.
This guy's a big Zionist, by the way. Like, let me give a little bit of context on who he is, too. Marcel Klein, if you couldn't guess by the name. This is him. I fix your brain so you win. So he charges coaching and does this for people, you know, for very, very high ticket, charges like tens of thousands of dollars. He's a multi-millionaire. And he does propaganda supporting Israel. Let me see if I can find a video.
In today's video, I'm going to show you how to rapidly change your life. And I mean your success, your identity, who you are. And the thing is, most people don't understand that they...
So weirdly, just for the little quick story, there was a few-day period right after October 7th. This is before I knew what was really going on in Israel and Palestine, where I got dinner with him, 𝐂𝐤𝐯𝐬, and then I met with like some other 𝐂𝐤s after. And weirdly, all of them kept mentioning how they have family ties to like magicians and wizards.
Of the Goyim.
All of them. There was another really big singer, I don't really want to mention his name, who was on American Idol. Him, the same exact thing. And I remember just getting such a weird feeling from these guys. But I understand why they have so much influence in Hollywood. They do a lot of tactics like this to get people under their spell. And if you remember, you know, when Kanye went out and he tweeted, Kanye trainer tweet. They typically stick like, so they'll have someone like this that's good at hypnosis or influencing people, and then they'll stick them on a bunch of different celebrities to influence them, right? So this is one of Ye's old trainers in the past. What's his name again? Harley, what's his last name? Harley something. I'll find it in a second. This is what he texted to Kanye, right? I'm going to help you one of a couple ways. First, you and I sit down and have a loving and open conversation, but you don't use cuss words, and everything that is discussed is based in fact and not some crazy stuff that dumb friend of yours told you or you saw in a tweet. Second option, I have you institutionalized again, where they medicate the crap out of you and you go back to zombie land forever. Playdate with the kids just won't be the same. So they get you in a very vulnerable state. You expose a lot of personal things. Maybe they get some blackmail on you. They do black magic on you. And then they use that to influence you in the future. And we'll see it even like, you know, partially worked on Ye. They have him under their control again. He apologized and he's back. Even though he pushed the ceiling for a lot of us to say the truth. That's how it works. Harley, let me find out, like, there's a list of all the people he's trained. Harley Pasternak. Okay, celebrities. Harley Pasternak has trained. So that one guy that they stuck on him, like this is just a prime example, right? I'm just giving you another one so you have a little bit of context. This one trainer, Ariana Grande, Lady Gaga, Rihanna, Katy Perry, Ye, Miley Cyrus, Mac Miller, Charlie Puth. Also, he did the girl in the Odyssey. You know that trainee in the Odyssey? He was her trainer as well. Coincidence? I think not. For any of you that watch Trailer Park Boys, Ellen Page is the little girl in Trailer Park Boys. Mr. Leahy's daughter, bro. So they all stick him with this person to influence him. This is her as a youngin'. For those of you that don't know, one of the prime figures in the new movie The Odyssey is literally a trainee. Like, that makes sense.
And what's on the other side of the door is the thing that's been hiding behind this mask all along. When you're ready to face that, everything you've been ignoring, everything you've been running away from, put your hand on the doorknob and open the door. Right there you see a kid on the bed. I want you to walk up to that kid.
Meanwhile, you got to understand, this stuff only works on you if you're not practicing the truth.
And see if he stops crying.
Plenty of magicians have admitted in the past, wizards, witches, that black magic doesn't work on a practicing Muslim. Just think about why that is for a second. Really reflect. The only group of people in the entire world, out of all the different thousands of religions that are out there, the only ones that only call upon their creator for guidance and protection are Muslims. Like I said, that's the only sound effect I have today. The only ones that call upon their creator are people on the right path, Muslims. So this is what I like to explain to a lot of, non-Muslims or specifically Catholics when they're talking about like their veneration for Mary and how they call upon different saints to protect them, is if God wants something to happen to you, good or bad, can Mary, can Jesus, can a saint stop that thing from happening to you? Can Mary override God's will? Can she outplan God? And the answer is no. It's in our fitrah, our innate disposition, that only our creator can control our destiny. So with that understanding, just creator, doesn't have to be God, Allah, whatever you want to call it. Why not only call upon your creator for everything? The one creator that you know you're going to return to. So that's why it's especially sad seeing someone like Neon just go deeper and deeper into this path. And now even collabing with Zionists.
I want you to apologize.
Because he was born on the truth, man.
I want you to tell him how much you love him. Look at him. Look into his eyes.
So weird, bro.
Tell him how much you love him. Tell him you're sorry you forgot him. Every day you erase the past.
And then keep in mind, right, when everyone wants to demonize 𝐒𝐸𝐲 and people that speak the truth, guys like Neon, who have their legs up in first class with strippers literally rubbing their pichadel on him, doing black magic with Zionists, he's the one that gets the big collab with the celebrities. Are you starting to see the difference? Are you starting to see what you have to do to get these big collabs, to go on the talk shows? Is it not getting a little bit obvious at this point? And then why someone like 𝐒𝐸𝐲, as a prime example, doesn't get those collabs? Is it making sense?
Because you
Oh,
cannot
Goyim.
face the very thing you're running away from. Right now, I want you to look at him. I want you to tell him that you're here for him now. You're done running. In a moment, I want you to give him a hug. I want you to fully let go. Fully allow him to finally feel loved, to be seen, to be heard, and to let go. He'll finally feel safe. I want you to look at him and tell him when you do finally notice him, you'll never forget him again.
I think Neon's Pakistani.
You'll always honor him. Take a deep breath. And in a moment, I want you to embrace him. I want you to tell him what he needs to hear. He's setting an example. He's showing that anything is possible.
So rather than submit to God, Neon, putting all your trust in him and your creator, you're going to become vulnerable publicly to people that literally want your destruction.
He's showing people the light. He's making a massive, positive
And they just want to use you as a pawn. It's genius, bro. It's absolutely genius.
Any negative comments, they slowly fade. And when they're not, and knows that's his.
Time will tell, but
How do you feel right now?
I feel relaxed.
Something's different. You feel it. You know it. It's in every part of your soul. Eyes open, wide awake. How do you feel?
How did you do that finger thing?
Hypnosis. That was part of the entertainment stuff. I wanted to do the hypnotherapy.
How the
It's cool, huh?
Wow.
How do you feel?
I feel like you just control my body, bro. What the hell?
And now you control it. Up until now, you had no control. So I took over, and I gave you real control of your mind.
Damn. It's getting a little emotional in there.
I know.
How did you, when you said the in my childhood house, like I could never even remember that, but when you said it, I remembered like every little
Detail?
thing in that house, like everything, my room, going up, like, damn.
Funny how you forget, but it's all there.
And keep in mind, Neon's audience is all kids. So the way his whole brand works is he gambles on stream, which if you gamble, you make about 20 to 30 times the average rate you would get paid for a sponsorship. So he's probably making around like $500,000, upwards of $1 million a month. And then he funnels most of that money back into Clippers. So he's putting hundreds of thousands of dollars a month into incentivizing other people to clip up his content, post it on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. And that's how he stays famous. So it's like a poopy apple. It's like a poopy seed that he plants in the ground. He pees on it, and then it grows into a poopy tree with poopy apples. And that's what everyone sees on their feed. They see the poopy apples because it stems from garbage, from nothing.
That was fucking crazy.
Someone's obsessively calling, huh?
Yeah, 𝐂𝐤𝐳𝐐.
So 𝐂𝐤𝐳 calling him.
I'm Jewish. That's what's calling you.
Oh my God.
And then he just, it's because I'm Jewish. It's because I'm Jewish. Yeah, it's not because you're Jewish, dude. It's because you're doing magic on him. It has nothing to do with your so-called belief. Where are you getting that from? I'm Jewish, but you're doing hypnosis. What does the Old Testament have to say about black magic? Let's see. What does the Old Testament have to say about doing black magic? He hates me because I'm Jewish. Yeah. What does your own faith say about it? The Old Testament strongly condemns what people would call black magic, sorcery, casting spells, consulting spirits, divination, necromancy, and attempting to gain supernatural power apart from God. Deuteronomy 18:9-12 gives the broadest prohibition. Israel was forbidden from practicing divination or fortune-telling, sorcery and interpretation, omens, witchcraft, and casting spells. Exodus 22:18 says, "You shall not permit a sorceress to live." I'm Jewish. He hates me because I'm Jewish. Like, it's so stupid. They don't even follow their own faith.
Well,
Should answer him. See what he says.
nah, I don't know.
I got a Jewish guy on stream. What do you want to say to him? He's gonna be like, Allahu Akbar.
God, wow.
How do you feel overall?
Nah, shit, bro. Only time will tell, but
How do you feel right now?
Now, this is what I got to say to the other influencers that still like to kiss Neon's butt because they're friends with him and they're trying to save him, is when is enough enough, man? When is enough enough? That's just like, that's what I can't stand about the whole streamer space and all these connections, is it's like a clout totem pole. Where if someone's above you on the clout totem pole, even if they're doing something wrong, you don't criticize them for it publicly, or you're going to lose that connection. And then the connections that they have, you're going to burn the bridge. That's how everyone operates in this space. And it's just fake. It's cringy to me. Because here's the thing. If Neon had less clout than these people and he was doing it, everyone would cringe at him. If someone was botting as much as Neon, 50,000 viewers live. Yeah, 50,000 viewers he has live. Everyone would laugh. No one would want to collab with him. But oh, because he has a bunch of clippers that he can pay from his gambling money, oh, now we got to be nice to Neon. Like, it's just the fakest stuff ever. So apparently this guy charges $1 million per session. Let's see.
When you're ready to face that, everything you've been ignoring, everything you've been running away from.
And I even had this happen with family members too. I'm not going to say which family member of mine, but she ran into someone that, like, he kind of did black magic and stuff, and we didn't know it at the time. This is about 10 years ago. And he would tell her, this family member of mine, things from her life that nobody else could have known. Specifically, it was when her dad was dying of cancer, and she used to give her dad this green juice so that he would make him better. And she was, the hypnotist was saying to her, oh, you know, your dad's asking me about the green juice. And she was like, what? And so, you know, like, I don't like to go into the hypothetical and the theory too much because it's more so subjective. But if I had to guess, I would say they're talking to the jinn that's with you at all times. So for those of you that don't know, everyone has a jinn assigned to them at birth that follows us all the way until we die, until the angels come. And so if they're following us at all times, they know our strengths, our weaknesses, where we fold, information that nobody else would know when no one else is around. I don't know. And even the jinns lie too. They're not even accurate. A lot of the stuff they say is just not true, but then they'll mix in some truth with it, so you believe it. And what's even sadder is, like I said, Neon has a young audience. So for a lot of those kids that have that hole in their heart because they're not upon the truth, they don't have a relationship with their creator, they see something like this or numerology or some other form of black magic, and they think that's the way to success. That's the way to happiness. Finding the cheat codes, when it's never going to do it, bro. It's never going to fulfill you.
When you're ready to face that, everything you've been ignoring, everything you've been running away from, Put your hand on the doorknob and open the door. Right there, you see a kid on the bed. Wrong. Wasn't more followers. He needed love. I want you to apologize to him.
So corny. It's so corny.
I want you to tell
He
him.
needed love. He didn't need followers. He needed self-love.
Look at him.
It's like they're trying to fill that hole in your heart with Play-Doh. He needed love. That's like the most astro tarot card reading girl thing to say.
I'm gonna call him right now.
I
His
want you
chat's
to
going.
find a dial numbered 0 to
I'm-
10. Sit up straight.
Little
Diesel?
thing in that.
He declined.
Funny how you forget, but it's all there.
He declined the.
That was fucking
There it is.
crazy.
You see.
Someone's obsessively calling, huh?
Yeah, Sneeko.
It's because I'm Jewish. That's what's calling you.
Oh my god.
Yes, it is. Yes, that's why. Yes.
Well,
Should answer him. See what he says.
nah, I don't know.
I got a Jewish guy on stream. What do you want to say to him? He's gonna be like, Allahu Akbar.
So cringe, bro. So cringe. Don't sell your soul, guys. Like I've said before, I feel like I keep reacting to these people selling their souls, but I think it's important to do so to let you know it's just not worth it. It's really not worth it at the end of the day. A lot of people do it for legacy too. They want to get all the clout and the views so that people keep talking about them after they die. But when you really think about it in the grand scheme of things, like you right now, name 3 celebrities from the 1700s. 3 of the most important figures that were alive in the 1700s. That's only a few hundred years ago. Name just 3. George Washington. Who else? Name a few. Exactly. That's only 300 years ago, and you can barely remember enough people that can fit on your hand. Bro, me, Sneeko, Tate, all of us, we're going to be dust one day. None of this stuff is going to matter. The only thing that matters is, are you going to make it into the eternal paradise or not? That's it. It's really not rocket science. And then the streaming, the business, it's all just part of the test. It's all just part of the game. How are you going to get your viewers? Are you going to cheat? Are you going to take the easy path? Are you going to get girls on stream where they can shake their butts? Or are you going to try to spread a positive message in the world? And obviously, the more demonic way is always going to be the easier path to short-term gain, to the easy money, to the easy views, but it burns out in the long term. It's even something that I realized about relationships and why arranged marriages, where people don't really know each other too well, they work so long in the long term, right? I had a friend explain it to me like this, right? Modern America relationships, they start out hot, on fire, right? They're sleeping with each other right away, basically doing everything you do in a married relationship within like the first 24 hours of knowing each other. So it starts off fiery hot, and then it ends ice cold, where they can't even stand each other anymore. This big divorce, I'm taking everything from you. And what happens when you start a relationship the right way? It might start a little bit slower. You don't know if you really love this person, but the more time you spend with them, the more in love you fall. You start to love their faults, the good things they can offer, right? And it even makes sense, like when you see a lot of these people that they go out and they drink, right? When you see a lot of Americans and they go out and they drink, if you've ever been out to a club or a party, you would understand that you really feel like an NPC when going out. Like everyone else is just robots and nothing's even real. But it makes perfect sense. The reason they have to drink to go out is because, like, when you start a car, you hit the engine and it's warming up. You don't instantly just go to 6th gear and floor it, start going 70 miles an hour, because that would break it. You have to go 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th gear to get there. That's why they have to drink and do all these things to get the clout, the money, and just to go out to bars to have a nice time. It's because when these people go out, they're skipping all those gears. They're going from meeting each other to the most intimate act in the same night. So with that, they need some lubricant to break past all those gears. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it at the end of the day. So, man, who knows if Neon's ever going to come around. He better hope that it's not before the angels come and take his soul, because that'd be a scary, terrifying meeting, especially with the amount of views he gets of doing these sins publicly. It's frightening. But yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the smash button. I'm gonna get into some more positive stuff because this stuff is just so cringy to see. Did you guys see this? God intervened in that moment through 𝐂𝐤𝐳𝐤, but he rejected. Yeah, like even the odds of 𝐂𝐤𝐳𝐤 going on and looking at his stream in that exact second. So let's see. Tommy Robinson's newest take of the day is having a preference racist.
I've got 2 daughters.
Would you let her marry a non-white person?
Oh, would you?
Yeah.
Well, in fact, I'm at home. There's a non-white lad who stayed in my daughter's room last night. Not with her and her friends. Like, and I know him. You know what I mean? I know him.
No, but one thing I would say, and this is
What? What?
I've got 2 daughters.
Would you let her marry a non-white person?
Oh, would you?
Yeah.
Tommy Robinson would let a non-white date his daughter?
Well, in fact, I'm at home. There's a non-white lad who stayed in my daughter's room last night. Not with her and her friends.
Oh my gosh, the way God just humiliates the enemies of Islam in the funniest ways possible. Oh my gosh. A non-white guy staying in his daughter's room overnight, and he has the balls to say Muslims are on the wrong path. Do you need a book to tell you that you shouldn't let young, horny guys sleep in the same room as your daughter? Do you really need a holy book from God to tell you that?
I know him, you know what I mean? I know him.
No, but one thing I would say, and this is the conversation I've had when black people are like, oh, they want black romance, or because I've spoken on the hypocrisy of the black.
My mate said this, yeah. My mate's a black dress, and he goes, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I've spoken on the hypocrisy of the black community because a black man can come out and say, I want to have black grandkids, but if a white person was to say it, it's racist. I don't believe in that, and I've never bought into that because integration means that you can walk down the street and you should be able to make friends with or be able to talk, and someone of a different color or creed should be able to exist without you bothering them or you treating them overtly any different to anyone else. But integration doesn't mean that a man of a different color is allowed to shag your daughter. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not actually racism. Yeah. Yes, you could say it's ignorant and bigotry, but if a man says, you know what, I'm black and I want to have black kids, or I'm Muslim and I want to have Muslim kids,
it's just preference.
Bro, Islam's not a race, bro. Islam is not a race. Oh my gosh.
It's just preference.
See, my mate said this.
I don't personally care if my daughter marries someone of a different race, as long as he's a good practicing guy on the right path. What does it really matter at the end of the day?
My mate, black guy, old guy, and he says, yeah, and he goes, I'm going to name his son. He goes, he can't bring home no white girl. And I said, what? And I said, brother, if I said that, what would you say? I said,
but that's wrong. You should be able to say,
Yeah.
I want no, but you should be able to say, I want my daughter, I'm not saying that you, I want my daughter to be with a white boy, and there's absolutely nothing wrong in you saying that. No matter what anyone says, there's absolutely, because if you were to say now, I want to have sex with a white woman, I am attracted to white women, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Is the preference allowed, but the action, so like, what I mean is that if...
You need to ban podcast equipment in the Big 26. We need to make it like 10 times more expensive. Or you need a permit or something to pick it up. What are they yapping about right now?
Well, I'm a black lad, yeah? Like lad she was last night, and she's in love with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I should
so you should be able to say that I want you to marry a white guy. You should be able to say that. However, I think the problem would be is if you don't allow her to do as she wants.
I want her to marry who she falls in love with.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
as long as it's not a follower of Islam.
So how do you separate Islam
as long as it's not a follower of
Muslim?
Islam?
Because I think in what you're saying is that if they are Muslim and they're more westernized, then
If they're not practicing, because
if they're not practicing, they don't follow the religion by the book, and then you accept those ones. But if you follow the religion by the book, that's when you're a bit more.
For me, that's a problem.
That's a problem. That's a problem. God forbid a guy fears God. He wants to protect and provide for his wife. He's willing to die for his wife if someone breaks in. But he'll let people sleep in his daughter's room, like. And it's just even funnier that the guy's non-white too. Just because of how much of like a racist he is. And it's funny, that's the way that he tries to prove that he's not racist. You could have just taken the route, I have a black friend. No, I have a black guy sleeping in my daughter's bed. Oh my gosh, bro. Do you remember 10 years ago when it was a controversy when Obama wore a tan suit? 10 years ago, Obama wearing a tan suit in a conference was a big deal. This was on the news. And in the Big 26, some of the biggest propagandists in the world, in the UK, which has historically been one of the biggest, most dominant empires of all time, this is what we're reacting to. This is what we're covering. What a joke. And this is the same Tommy Robinson that said he would rather Sikhs and Hindus in his country rather than Muslims. What else do you want to see that these people are paid propagandists? And the sad thing is people will know that they're paid propagandists and then they'll still let the propaganda influence them. Like, I have so many hometown friends and people in my life that are non-Muslim. You know, they're pretty indifferent. They don't necessarily call themselves Christian. They're more so like deist agnostic. They believe in a creator, but don't follow a certain religion. And they know that there's people that are paid to, you know, spread propaganda against Islam and try to make you hate Muslims. But then they'll still repeat the anti-Muslim rhetoric to me of stuff like, well, look at, you know, what happens in Afghanistan with, you know, the daughters. That's kind of sus, or with the goats. And it's like, bro, where does this stuff come from? It comes from these people, the Tommy Robinsons, who have skin-colored guys shagging their daughters. Shagging their daughters, mate. Ay, 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 bro. Ay, ay, ay. It's so cooked. Notice how he also never mentioned anything like, oh, I care that the guy is Christian. He fears God. No, none of that. Just don't be Muslim and you can be any skin color. Yeah, that's a great father right there. Amazing. And this is who people listen to. Wow. Anyways, let's get into the next thing.
Hey, what's up? I made a big mistake and I'm here to clarify it.
Did any of you guys see this? I joined your clipping program. I love you and Sneeko. Yeah, the link's in the description. If any of you guys want to become clippers, click the link in the description and become a part of the team. Even if you're a complete beginner, we train you how to start clipping from scratch. I have a whole video course. We have 4 or 5 coaching calls going on a week for whatever editing software that you want to learn. A lot of good stuff. You saw the Tate bouncing on it video? So this is 𝐂𝐤𝐧𝐬, right? For those of you that don't know, this is the same 𝐂𝐤𝐧𝐬 who just a couple years ago was bouncing
I'll never forget it.
Literally bouncing on it, doing tricks. Let's check it out. And let me know if this seems like the same guy.
I'll never forget it. He's super tall, bro, and like it's super intimidating when he has so many bodyguards around.
This is a real video, by the way.
Him, and he came in. I was so nervous, but when he stuck his hand out and smiled, I felt safe. Just the way he asserted himself, the way he talked, the way he taught me his way of life, the way he was fearless. I understand why there's a lot of men that want to listen to him. He's not Jesus Christ, though, so he's not going to be perfect. I know that this guy's an influential man, and when I see this man, I know that God's using him. Regardless of how he feels it, I know that God is using Andrew Tate to mend or bend to the will of what God's will is.
Did you just hear that? Like, did we just hear that? Now, this is a couple years later. Let's see if this sounds like the same guy.
Hey, what's up? I made a big mistake, and I'm here to clarify it. There's a thing that the podcasters do. They create a reel to get you hooked, to get you to watch the podcast. And in my hook, to some people, it looks like I'm endorsing Andrew Tate. If you guys...
In the hook of the podcast, it seems like you're endorsing Andrew Tate. In the hook of the podcast? What?
Know who I am or watch my content, or honestly watch the video of me sitting down with Andrew. In that podcast that I sit down with Andrew, he even says that he wants to rethink things. So I never was pointing people to Andrew Tate being the leader. I always point to Jesus as being the leader. But I made a mistake and I went too hard on the clickbaiting. And now people are upset. They're thinking I'm endorsing him. I'm not endorsing him. I'm endorsing Jesus. So if you guys want a real leader, go to Jesus. And to anybody who's frustrated at me for making those videos, dude, I'm sorry, man. And I'm honestly getting used to getting on the camera and apologizing, but I just want to say I'm so sorry. And no,
So
I do not
gay,
endorse his behavior. I never have.
Dude, if you love him, just stand by it, right? If you love the guy so much, just stand by it. Now, this is why Nia and intention is so important, right? Why is he disavowing Tate right now? Is it because he actually disagrees with what he's saying, the rhetoric, any of his points? Or is it because Tate's becoming less popular and supporting Andrew Tate is controversial nowadays? I understand why someone like 𝐒𝐨𝐳 can't stand Tate. Makes perfect sense. When the HH incident happened, Tate went on a whole podcast tour with a bunch of different chosen interviewers, blaming the entire thing on 𝐒𝐨𝐳 when it wasn't even 𝐒𝐨𝐳 that played the song in the club. It was Fresh. So 𝐒𝐨𝐳 took all the hit from that when it wasn't even him. And then Tate also went out of his way, probably with connects in like the War Room and stuff, and literally doxed 𝐒𝐨𝐳's family. Which I don't know if you can wrap your head around how messed up that is, but there's certain lines in this industry that you just don't cross. There's no reason to get people's families mixed into things. And people even do the same thing with Nick. They'll pull up videos of like Nick's sister with her being at LGBTQ parades, and they'll try to use that as like some kind of own, but it's not, bro. Everyone has the free will to choose the path they want to go on, whether it's politically, religiously. Like, I have family members that I disagree with on all those major things, but that's what makes family. There's even memes about this where it's like when you go to the family, you know, when you go to Thanksgiving and then you bring up politics at the dinner table and everyone starts throwing glasses at each other. Everyone has the black sheep of the family that goes off politically or religiously. You know what I'm saying? But to go and try to like throw Tate under the bus just because it's not popular now, it's just gay, bro. It's just gay. And then these are the same people that have like these big truth-seeking podcasts, bringing on people of different faiths, and none of them will bring on a sincere Muslim to explain the faith. They'll keep bringing on the God Logics and the Sam Shamans and the Bryce Crawfords to come and explain Islam on their behalf. So that's why I'm just starting to feel less sympathy for the kuffar. I don't feel bad anymore. I really don't. Because if you're a true truth seeker, you would look into it all with an open heart. You wouldn't just look into your own faith and be so blinded by this being the truth. My branch of this is the truth. How do you know, bro? You haven't even looked into other stuff. You couldn't even explain Islam for 30 seconds without getting 5 mistakes. And then even like, I know I say this so much, but when they keep saying this thing about like, I trust Jesus, bro, most of the Bible was written by people who never even met Jesus. Half of the times they're quoting the Bible, they're not even quoting people who met Jesus. Dude, you're quoting people like Paul, who never met Jesus and speaks on Jesus' behalf. That's what's so crazy about it to me. But when you only look into your own faith, that's how you don't see the holes in it. But when you compare it with the truth, perfectly preserved scripture, prophecies that man couldn't have known, scientifically, historically, numerical miracles that point to a divine origin, and then you compare it with yours, it's obvious that the contradictions and everything doesn't make any sense. Sonny, do you know about Will Sexton? Yes, actually. We actually just started working together. So if you guys want to become part of his clipping campaign, make sure you join the Discord in the description where you can get job opportunities for becoming a clipper. That's one of my businesses. You know how obviously when you guys see on my feed or when you're scrolling on your feed and a lot of the times you see my clips, it's from other accounts. So I teach you how to become a clipper, whether, you know, from complete scratch. We have a video course, multiple coaching calls. We pay you, obviously. And then I do the same thing for other people and I charge them so I can give you guys more clipping opportunities. We've paid out, I think, at least over $100,000 this year alone to clippers. So really, really good opportunity for those of you guys that like want to make your first money online and learn a new valuable skill. Get to work with like big influencers, work your way up. And then there's a lot of good job opportunities with it too, but yeah. Yeah, will we ever see a collab? Inshallah, yes. Me and him we're talking about it actually. Yeah, we're gonna collab in the future. But man, bro, the kuffar, man, taking mad L's lately. Mad L's. Oh, yeah. Did you guys see this again too?
Muslims.
This is like the millionth time we've talked about this, but once again, Nick has called me a race traitor and went off on me in this interview. So let's check it out real quick. Savvy with the, how many gifted? 5 gifted. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the 5 gifted, bro. Appreciate it. Any companions in the chat? Drop it in the chat. But anyways, let me redo that hook. I am not married, no. Would you collab with the sister? Maybe. Probably virtually, it depends. But Pablo Fuentberg. Dude, it's just like reacting to this stuff nonstop, man. It's like this. Anyways, Nick called me a race trader for the millionth time. Let's check it out.
So do you believe that people like SunniFaz or Andrew Tate are going to go to hell for embracing Islam?
I do, yeah.
Really? So you think somebody like Sunny is going to hell over somebody like 𝐒𝐳𝐧𝐬, who's a Christian, but he kind of, you know, does degenerate things? Sunny's probably living more closer to like what Christ would be, or like Christianity, than somebody like 𝐒𝐳𝐬𝐧, who's like a Christian, but you know, he's like doing his Miami activities and like cocaine crusader.
In the end, you know, who knows? Honestly, who knows? I think 𝐒𝐳𝐬𝐧's got a better chance because what it tells us is, how do you get into heaven? Believe in Christ, accept the gospel, receive the sacraments. That's the best way to get into heaven. Now, if you've done those things,
Nick doesn't go to church, by the way. I kept this private too. I've known about this for a while, but you know, we have some lines we don't cross. Like if you tell someone something behind the scenes in confidentiality, you don't go leaking it on the internet. But yeah, Nick doesn't even go to Catholic church, bro.
you got a very good chance, but it's still not confirmed. Only God knows who's going to get in. He makes the final judgment.
What's your thoughts on like people that revert to Islam? You were friends with Sunny for a while. I'm curious if like, you've spoken to him at all recently, and like what you think about him kind of reverting to Islam.
I think it's embarrassing. I think it's kind of embarrassing and disgraceful.
Really? I feel like he kind of became a better person though after. Like he became more grounded and kind of like in himself. Because I talked to Sunny a lot, and like, he's kind of like a mentor figure to me. I would say like Islam's probably like helped him out. Like he seems like he kind of has like more of like a light and like a glow and like an energy about him. Where like I'm like, okay, like it might not be the objective truth. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But for him, I feel like it's really helping him out.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, a lot of Catholics like to say that every religion contains some of the truth.
Right.
You know, and there are people that are called perennialists, and they say that every religion is the expression of the same truth. Maybe it's a cultural expression of a deeper truth that nobody has perfect access to. I think we understand that because every religion observes some of the same things.
Can I explain to you very simply why a lot of the religions have the same rhetoric inside of them? Because God always sent the same religion. Since Adam, the very first human that God created, God has always sent submission to God. So what would happen is when God would send messengers to certain groups of people at different times throughout history, after that messenger would pass and he would leave the message on for the people to continue to practice, corrupt leaders in those areas would tamper the holy books, especially because a lot of people throughout time weren't literate. So it was only the most, educated in certain areas that actually had access to reading these books. Like even the Catholic Church, for the first, I believe, 1,500 years, people didn't get the Bible. They only learned about their faith through the heads of the Catholic Church, through the priests in their area, through the bishops, yada, yada, yada. And so what would happen is when people would tamper the scripture, it would now become mixed with some truth and some falsehood. So you wouldn't be able to distinguish between what is right and what is wrong. And so what would happen, right, when people would tamper it, is God would then send another messenger to come back on the right path. So it's like, I need to get a software where I can draw and really visualize this. But imagine there's a line where history is going around, right? And Jesus comes right here. Or let's say there's a line. This is the history line, right? Of the years going by. Moses came right here, okay? Moses comes. He brings the Torah. Well, God gave him the Torah, okay? Now, when Moses passes away, this is what births Judaism. So Moses came with submission to God, Islam right here. And when people tampered from his message, that became Judaism. So now that's why you have fragments of truth and falsehood in this. a little bit more time goes on, Jesus comes to get these people back on the right path, right? So Jesus comes with Islam. Now what happens after Jesus? People like Paul and others come and corrupt the scripture. So when Jesus brought Islam, once again, just like all the other messengers, now that births Christianity. And then what happens with the final messenger? The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, comes with the Quran, which is revelation until the end of times. And then use your brain. How do we know that this is revelation until the end of times? The prophecies that are inside of the book. Information that the prophets simply couldn't have known. Plenty. Look it up yourself. Scientific, historical, numerical. Plenty of examples. And then the best one of it all is it's perfectly preserved. And that's one of the promises in the Quran, is that this book will stay perfectly preserved until the end of time. So then that's why there's no more messengers since then, because God's religion has been perfected. So these guys like to come and give these big philosophical rants about why there's, different truth. Maybe we don't know the full cultural identity of what's inside ourselves, but it's really much simpler than that. It's because people always differed from Islam. Like even Christianity, realistically, is a branch of Islam. There are deviations of Islam, not the other way around, which a lot of people like to say. It's not rocket science.
I think in general, religion is good for people. This idea that we think about a higher power, that our behavior is constrained.
And that's why even in the Bible, it's like if you're quoting only Jesus's words, he's Muslim. He submits his will to God. He gives all the glory to God. He says, why do you call me good? Only God is good. He puts his head on the ground to pray. He doesn't eat pork. He even wears a thobe and sandals. That's how they depict him. And then they have the audacity to criticize Muslims for doing that. His mom wore a hijab. You would have never seen Mary's hair. You would have never seen her curves. You would have never seen her on Instagram with a cross between her chest. They didn't drink the blood of God. They didn't eat the body of God. That's why it's like, I don't even like calling Islam a religion, because then it just branches it in with all these other ones. There's submission to God, which is the entire point of life, and there's falsehood. Anyways, I'm sorry for going on this whole rant, but it's like, this stuff only works on people that don't have the truth, right? That's why I need to clarify these things.
Religion is good for people. This idea that we think about a higher power, that our behavior is constrained by a moral code. Certainly it's better than hedonism. Certainly it's better than materialism. The idea there's nothing other than matter. But it's not the truth.
Tyson, can you stop mogging after every question you ask?
And materialism.
Imagine every time I'm watching videos, I'm just like this.
Certainly it's better than materialism. The idea there's nothing other than matter. But it's not the truth. And, me and Sneeko would debate about this a lot. SunniFaz is Italian.
Right.
Okay, like I'm Italian. I'm half Italian.
Yeah.
Italy is where nearly all the popes come from. It's the seat of the church. It's the Roman Empire is defined in opposition to Jerusalem as the center of all the nations. So for an Italian to go against Christianity and be a Muslim, I just see it as a deep betrayal of his identity. I do.
I mean, I don't, because I would say it's like God over race. I'm not sure, like, where would you put the hierarchy? Because I'm like, okay, you believe that this is God. Obviously, you're going to follow what you think is the truth and not be like, oh, my ancestors thought this and this and this. I'd say, like, God would precede, like, race or culture.
I agree with that. I think that if you believe that Islam is true, then you have to embrace it.
Of course.
If you think it's the truth. So I understand where he's coming from. And he would say, well, if Islam's the truth, it doesn't matter what color I am. That's where I am. And okay, I respect that. However, Catholicism happens to be the truth. And so I almost look at it as like, there's a story in the Bible about Jacob and Esau. And this idea that Esau, the elder son of Isaac, has this birthright. And he doesn't take it seriously. He trades his birthright away for nothing. And Jacob steals it. And this story is central to Christians' idea of themselves. And I sort of see it as like the Jews' birthright is that they were the chosen people and they get the Messiah, but they rejected Christ. That was their birthright. And so who got it? The younger, Jacob. Us, the Goyim, the Gentiles. In the Bible, it's the Gentiles actually that then get the birthright. We get the Messiah. It belongs to everybody. And so I sort of see that's why it becomes a deep betrayal, because it's like you're doing what the Jews did. Like Christ died for you.
I'm doing what the Jews did. I'm doing what the Jews did. That's so funny, bro. That's funny because it's so ironic. You're doing what the Jews did. You're slandering the prophet of God, just like they did with rejecting Jesus. The signs couldn't be more clear. And this is what I'm saying. Kaepernick, bro. He knows it's the truth. He knows Muslims only worship God. He knows that you can't fully explain the Trinity with an analogy without committing a heresy. He knows that it's logically inconsistent. If God is our creator and Jesus isn't our creator, how is he God? If God is all-knowing and in the Bible Jesus isn't all-knowing, how is he God? God has innate attributes. If something lacks even just one of those attributes, if they were born, if they are dependent on something, God is independent. If they lack one, that thing lacks to be God. It's not rocket science. And you've heard me talking about prophecies, right? What are the evidences for Islam as being the truth, okay? Watch this one. This is one of the coolest ones. Did the Quran predict the Romans coming back and defeating the Persians? And just how crazy of a prophecy is this? So keep in mind, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, didn't write the Quran. We believe that it is the verbatim direct words of God. The Hadith, which you might have heard, that's the sayings of the Prophet, which has a whole scientific method of did he actually say this or not. Some chains of narrations are stronger than others. Like, for example, if one person in a chain of narration, my dad told me that his dad told me that the Prophet said this. If one of those people in that chain is untrustworthy, the chain becomes invalid or a less trustworthy chain. Like it has a lower rank with the Hadith sciences, right? So the Quran is the direct word of God. So if the Prophet, peace be upon him, was faking this religion, just think, why make so many insane predictions of the future? That's like you trying to convince someone that you're a prophet and you're saying, okay, next year, the Knicks are going to win the NBA. The New York Giants are going to win the NFL, despite them not having made playoffs in over a decade. The Boston Bruins are going to win. Actually, they're going to lose by 3-2 in the finals. Like just making all these ridiculous prophecies where if a single one comes true, now everything you said is false, right? So did the Quran predict the Romans coming back and defeating the Persians? And just how crazy of a prophecy is this? And the reason I'm using ChatGPT is so you can see it yourself. You can see it. What the Quran says. Chapter 30, verse 2-4. The Romans have been defeated in a nearby land, yet following their defeat, they will triumph within 3 to 9 years. That's because the word in Arabic here, I forget how to pronounce it exactly, but it means 3 to 9. So then what actually happened? Around 614 to 616 CE, Persia appeared overwhelmingly dominant. The Persians captured Jerusalem in 614. They seized much of Syria and Palestine. They later took Egypt and penetrated deep into Roman territory. The Roman state was financially and militarily devastated. This was not a minor battlefield loss. The Persians advanced continuously until roughly 622, while the Romans appeared close to collapse. Just watch this. Then Emperor Heraclius launched a remarkable counteroffensive. 622, Heraclius won an important campaign against the Persians, roughly 7 or 8 years after Jerusalem's fall and the likely revelation period. 626, Constantinople survived a combined siege involving Persian allies. 627, Heraclius crushed a Persian army near Nineveh. And 628, Persia sought peace and surrendered virtually all its Roman conquests. Do you understand how ridiculous that is? At the time of the prediction, choosing Rome was definitely the unfashionable side. Persia had repeatedly defeated Rome, occupied major territories, and deprived of its enormous resources. Heraclius had inherited political instability and apparently considered desperate measures. A confident prediction of a Roman victory within less than a decade involved real risk. So why would the prophet bet this entire faith on on an army that practices a faith, Catholicism, that's not even his? Why would he bet on them winning when it wasn't favored and they're not even of his faith? And then there's even more, there's more evidence of this. There's even more evidences of this too. And this is just one of many, bro. This is just one of many.
in a sense, the Roman Empire inherited what should have belonged to Jerusalem. And so for someone like that, then to eschew our inheritance, which is that we get to be a part of this tradition, that to me is the betrayal. It's like you should recognize what you have, which is the special place in the real religion.
Nick doesn't go to church. And like I've said before too, it's so goofy to me how they're constantly attacking people for accepting Islam, which there's plenty. By the way, I'm not the only white guy to accept Islam. I've met at least 500 to 1,000 since I accepted Islam 2 years ago of white people that are practicing devout Muslims. Right? Why not worry about the fact that the Catholic churches are empty? Don't get mad at me. This is a fact. If anything, the main people that are actually practicing, Christianity still are like the Protestants, in the Bible Belt in Southern America, where they're actually packing the churches. But then they're not Catholics. So even according to your faith, Nick, because they're not getting the sacraments in the Catholic Church, they're going to hell. And then when their women are going out and they're wearing crosses between their breasts and they're posting it online and they have Bible quotes in their bio, but then their entire Instagram grid is pictures of them half naked and the churches are empty, you don't see them saying anything about that. No. Why fix our own problems? Let's just get mad at the people that are accepting the truth. It's extremely silly. It's extremely silly. And honestly, I'm tired of talking about it. Nick's losing a lot of his supporters. And I'm really it's kind of becoming more clear every single day that he's paid to just cause division in the space. There's no reason for him to beef so much with Candace Owens, with Ian Carroll, with all of the other big people that are on the same page about who's the problem in our country. Of him, the first time he stands up and he's defending women, it's Erica Kirk, like the most obvious honeypot of all time. There's just way too many suspicious things about Nick, and a lot of people are starting to see it. Although he's funny, although he's been an OG to this movement, they got to him at some point. They clearly did, and it's sad to see because I like Nick a lot. And he even admitted that he was fake the whole time, where he was supporting Muslims. And then even with his whole relationship with 𝐂𝐶𝐞, after he went on this whole crash out of 𝐂𝐶𝐞, calling for him, his followers to go and attack 𝐂𝐶𝐞 in the street and saying how bad of a person 𝐂𝐶𝐞 is and how fake of a friend he is and just crapping on his art, his creativity, everything about him. It's like he held all those feelings in against 𝐂𝐶𝐞, their entire friendship, and publicly put on a facade that he likes him. Is this the kind of person you want to listen to? I'll call it like it is. When I see Neon getting smashed on camera by dudes and doing black magic on stream with Zionists, I call them out instantly. I don't try to play this game of, oh, he's higher than me on the cloud totem pole, I don't want to burn the connection. No. You call it out, bro. Have to stay upon the truth. Have to stay upon truth, or else that's where I just start contradicting myself. And even from the fear perspective, you can see all these influencers that sell their souls and they start contradicting themselves to try to maintain relationships. They get destroyed in the end. There's no longevity playing that game. Andrew Tate's brand is in the toilet. The Nelk boys, who 5 years ago were at the pinnacle of the male space, every single guy in America followed and looked up to them. Now nobody cares about them. They have to bot their podcast views. They have to bot their Instagram likes. Don't tell me I'm muted. Am I muted? Really cringy. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe. Hit the smash button. Oh, this is some Nick hypocrisy clips. Let's see it before we end.
We support Muslims here.
Yeah, we do. I love Muslims. I love Muslims.
Me too. I love Muslims too. The only reason that Americans have been convinced to hate Muslims is because the Jews want us to hate Muslims, because Israel hates Muslims.
I will say that
why couldn't he keep with this rhetoric once he becomes the most, big, the largest political figure in America? There's no reason to stray from this.
You are a 9/11 truther. You are more pro-Muslim than most, because that's a big kill count that you're trying to take away from Islam there.
That's what I'm saying.
Muslims are innocent.
Well, I said maybe if Christianity won't stand up, maybe Islam is. I mean, you know what I mean?
If Christianity doesn't show up, I mean, maybe it's Islam.
That's what I'm saying. That doesn't make me a Muslim. Doesn't mean I love that whole situation, but Christians won't fight, but they need to. And Andrew Tate, you know, I've seen his appearances on this show, and he's obviously a Muslim, and he says it. He says, you know, the Christians won't stand up. And sadly, as a Christian, I have
So
to
he
admit,
wants to be
right.
with the fighters.
Right. That's why he joined Islam. And I get it. 𝐂𝐸𝐳 did the same thing. He's
Bro, we don't join Islam because it's a stronger faith and because people actually practice it. That's just one of the benefits. That's definitely not why I accepted it. The reason I accepted Islam is because the Shahada, the testimony of faith to become Muslim, makes so much sense. All you have to say is a sentence. There's nothing worthy of worship except my creator and the Prophet Muhammad, who couldn't have known 99% of things inside of the Quran. There's no chance he could have written it. He's a messenger from God. That's it. And if it's not the truth, then you just said another sentence. What's the big deal?
a friend of mine, and he said, I have to go with the Muslims because they're the ones standing up to all this stuff. Now, I think that the solution, because Christianity is true, is that we just need the Christians to stand up. But Christians are afraid of losing their jobs or getting canceled or stuff like that. We need people that get bold.
Well, they're not really Christians.
No, that's cowardice.
And you know, one of the things I admire about Islam is its simplicity, its piety, and saying God is enough. Of course, we disagree about the particulars, but you know, people ought to think more in that way. It's actually kind of
It's a completely different guy.
I feel like you and me
Ever since he blew up, completely different rhetoric.
connecting was the beginning of what people now are calling this like Christian-Muslim alliance against Zionists. And I feel like that was kind of the first iteration of it. It was when you and I started
Someone said in the chat, do people really change so much, or is it just their true colors that come out? I think it's a little bit of a mix of both. There is a chance he was just trying to grift the Muslim community. But what I really think it is when you become influential enough, dude, like after Charlie Kirk got shot, it's undebatable that Nick Fuentes was the #1 political commentator in America. This is when all the major influencers still supported him. Candace just did an interview with him. Tate was supporting him. Me, 𝐒𝐸𝐳, basically everyone. Ian Carroll was all on his side. And from there, once he was #1, this is where he started slicing the pizza of division. He went from saying the left-right stuff, it's all nonsense, to now constantly spewing left-right rhetoric. The left wants us dead. The right needs to... What? What are we talking? They're both owned by the same side. I thought we were on the same page about this, Nick. What are we talking about left and right for now? And then started talking about how Muslims are the problem. And we don't want too many... Where is this coming from, bro? Because what happens is when you become influential enough, they need you to be divisive to a certain extent to keep people divided. That's what it comes down to.
streaming, or when we first met a couple of years ago on that stream, and you then became a Muslim, and I'm, of course, am a Catholic. And then we were talking with Myron, who's also a Muslim, on Fresh and Fit about this a year ago. Then October 7th happened, and there's this thing on Twitter where Muslims and Christians are speaking out against Israel. And lately I've noticed that a lot of these like Jews and Zionist agents are coming out and trying to split apart the Christians and Muslims by saying, you know, they think there's this alliance, but, you know, Muslims are just as bad or something like that, or saying, you know.
Joe Hurt, thanks for the $13. Nick Fuentes acts like he has all the answers, but to me, he has come across as someone who's more interested in provoking people than making honest, evidence-based arguments, pretending to be a good Christian. Yeah, for sure. Bored Alchemist, thank you for the 7. Muslim hate is all linked to Palestine. The J started to fund hate of Muslims since 1970s in UN Res 3379. The J needed Muslim hate to survive. Yeah, of course, because what they're doing in Palestine, they need people to see Muslims as like subhuman.
Oh, well, Christians are weak and this sort of thing. And I don't think it needs to be more complicated than this. Israel colonizes Palestine. Israel colonizes America. Therefore, Muslims and Christians are working to dislodge Jewish power, which dominates both the countries. I mean, we don't agree on religion. We probably don't agree on a few other things. But in this limited sense, even if for nothing else, although I think we agree on more than that, I think we have a common cause.
Do you respect women?
Of course.
But you just don't want them to have any rights.
Well, I didn't say that. I didn't
Okay.
say they shouldn't have rights.
But if I'm understanding your question correctly, if you don't want them to vote or drive or have an existence akin to what they would have in, say, Saudi Arabia, you would say that in large part, then they don't really have rights.
Well, I would say probably the ideal is something more like Afghanistan, if I'm being totally honest. Like recent,
so what's the difference
recent
between
Afghanistan
then and Saudi Arabia?
like the brutality, I guess it's like a little slightly more brutal. Of course, Taliban rule, not American rule. I'm talking about, you know, recent Afghanistan.
So you want women to have the same treatment as women have under Taliban rule in Afghanistan?
Something approximating that, yeah,
Okay.
because, you know, you think about the Taliban.
And then look at the funniest part about the Nick thing, especially with the beef with 𝐒𝐶eco, is 𝐒𝐶eco was like his daddy in public. Look at this. Where's their stream together IRL? This is where I really realized Nick is not fit.
Not talking about.
This was right after the HH incident.
Don't like it? No. Oh,
And they were walking through Brickell. This is the day after, which was stupid in itself. You want to be Emperor Nick Fuentes, and you're walking out in public with 𝐒𝐶eco as your bodyguard? Like, what are you doing, bro? This does not give off Emperor vibes.
Yeah, you were going out and about. But I was undercover in New York.
And that's not a diss at 𝐒𝐶eco. It's just like, you want to be this big, tough king. And then you have the guy that you're shit-talking nonstop, literally acting like your daddy in public, defending you, holding your hand, walking you around. Don't cross the street yet, little Nicky. Like, does this... Like, it's cringe, man. He's only tough when he's at his setup in his room, with his camera up high so he can look bigger. That's the only time. Anyways, I'm done with watching this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the smash button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Ay, ay, ay. What do you guys think of the solo streams in the meantime? I'm still not used to it, of like just yapping them by myself, but it's fun talking to you guys. Love the solos. Thank you. I miss Unk, but one thing I don't miss is getting cut off nonstop. That's the one thing I don't miss. Other than that, we miss Unk. Unk solo streams have been fun too. Yeah, they're good as well. Where's Beckman at? He's in New York right now. I'm in Dallas. Your light setup is sick. You got a link or something? Thank you. You guys like the setup? You guys like the setup? That's exactly why we love Unk, because he cuts me off. That's why. That's great. Yeah. He has his camera up so he can look big. It's true. He has his, very professional lighting. He has a top light. The studio is great. But it's done so he can look tough behind his desk. That's what it is. When he goes out in public, it looks like crap. The sound effects, that's what you're laughing at, the sound effects? This is the only one I have. Al the Pal, I need more sound effects, bro.
The top VIP of the Goyim.
Could you update the clipping link Discord? It's not working. Ay, ay, ay. Guys, we're gonna be switching over to Kick soon, so make sure you head over to Kick.
Beautiful. Persecute. The
What is this, bro? Ay, ay, ay. More Joe Rogan now? Joe Rogan gives his thoughts about the hijab to Scott Eastwood. Let's see it.
beautiful thing about America is you're supposed to be able to practice any religion you want. You're
Yeah.
supposed to be able to be a Buddhist. You're supposed to be able to be a Baptist. No one should care. And we should all be able to get along. It should be a true melting pot. But there's other organizations that have different plans, and their plans are to take over cities. There's plans that are to take over cities and change the laws. And we were talking about with Tim Dillon what happened with Dearborn, Michigan. All these like liberal people are like, yeah, we love Muslims. Everyone's amazing. So they got a Muslim mayor, and the first thing he did is like, no more pride flags. This shit's illegal. Because what he would like is Sharia law. Like if you
Banning the pride flag, now it's Sharia law. Shouldn't Christians want the same? Shouldn't that be like, oh, look at the Muslims, look at them go. You know, we need to take a step in that direction because it's gone a little bit too far for us. You know, not only was it a big scandal of priests, thousands touching kids, which is why there's so many gays right now, is because people become gay by getting touched as kids. So when they grow up, the way that they get more gay people is by touching more people. I don't know if you guys understand. That's a big reason there's a lot of gays because they were touched as kids in the church. That's a big way that it happened. And not only that, they literally have pride flags on churches. There's one 15 minutes from my house in Dallas. All over New York City, the churches have pride flags on them. But that's bringing Sharia law. Is the poopy butt sex flag being banned? What?
ask the majority of practicing Muslims, like worldwide, how many of them would like Sharia law? And it's not a small amount. You know, that's their religion. That's what but the problem with that is like, you can't push that on other people. If you want to have your mosque and you want to pray 5 times a day, wonderful. You should be able to do that 100%. Everybody should appreciate the fact that there's all sorts of different ways of worshiping God. Great. I don't know who's right. But as soon as a culture starts taking over and putting in values that...
God forbid there was a 2% tax. God forbid the government didn't stick their hand up our butts every single year, charging us 30% of our income. God forbid people had some morals. God forbid you couldn't charge interest on loans, on credit cards, where there's trillions of dollars of debt nowadays. People are starving. They're drowning in this debt because they have a fixed salary where they can statistically see that they're never going to pay off that interest until the day they die. They could have 10 times more than the loan paid off, but they still owe money on interest. God forbid that was the case, bro. And you know what's even funny about this too is there's places in America, in Utah, do the Mormons have rules about alcohol? So we can complain about the Muslims banning the pride flag all day, which you shouldn't even be mad about. In Utah, do the Mormons have rules about alcohol? Yes. Practicing members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are taught not to drink any alcohol at all, including beer and wine. And then their religious influence is one reason Utah historically developed stricter alcohol laws. Although alcohol drinking is legal for non-Mormons and Mormons alike if they're 21 or older, Utah currently controls the sale of wine and liquor through state-run stores, limits a mixed drink to 1.5 ounces of primary liquor with no more than 2.5 ounces of total spirits, requires restaurants serving alcohol to operate primarily as restaurants rather than disguised bars. As of January 1st, 2026, requires alcohol sellers to check every customer's ID regardless of apparent age. What about when you can sell it? So this already happens with other faiths, where there's a large majority of people of a certain faith that have consistent morals, and they change the laws dependent on that.
First of all,
degrading women.
Yeah, grossly
that's when it
deteriorate
gets-
women's
yeah,
rights. Grossly.
That's bad. That's
Yeah.
when it falls apart completely.
Well, and that's their culture, and you have to understand that they've accepted when they're wearing those traditional, taking over and putting in values that, first of all,
degrading women.
Yeah, grossly
that's when it
deteriorate
gets-
women's
yeah,
rights. Grossly.
That's bad. That's
Yeah.
when it falls apart completely.
Well, and that's their culture, and you have to understand that they've accepted when they're wearing those traditional head garbs and body coverings. That's their culture, and they want women to dress like that. And, you know, we have to stop that from spreading. Like, you should be able to do it if you want to, but the idea that you can take over a town or take over a city, that's a flaw in our system, because every city should have the same sort of national
Women's rights for them is literally dressing naked.
rights.
That's always what it comes down to. Not voting, not anything else. It's always, can women dress with their hoo-has out?
National rights. Every city should have the rights that we have. Where we
Keep in mind, like, it's crazy how duped they even are about that. When my grandma was a kid, they ran an ad in the UK, right? Look at this. UK window skirt. Let me see. What's that clip? Where's that old video of them showing skirts? Where is it? I can't find it right now. You guys know what I'm talking about? That old video where they have the skirts in the window to see how the women react. And like, who would wear this? It wasn't an ad. It was a social experiment. That's what I meant to say. What do I look up to find it? Anyone know what to look up to find it? Editor, just pop it in. Find it and pop it in. Right? So they did this experiment in the 60s. That's our grandmas. It's literally our grandma's generation. And they wouldn't imagine wearing clothes where you can see their breasts and their butts and their entire legs are showing. And now that's what patriotism is. That's what freedom is women being able to dress like that.
National rights.
Women react to low-cut dress. Is that what it is? Here it is.
Disgusting.
Why?
Any girl with any decency would never walk in the street with them on.
But they might wear one of the...
Disgusting.
Why?
Well, I don't know. It's really disgusting. I wouldn't wear one. To won't catch on in Wolverhampton.
Well, I think it's just a gimmick, and I don't think any girl in their right mind would wear it.
I don't think any decent girl would wear one. I mean, they might be all right for these Debbie types in London at these parties, but I don't think...
I want to see the actual clothes. It's literally just like a dress where you see cleavage.
What do you think?
Parties, but I don't think they'll catch on in Wolverhampton.
Crazy, bro. And it's even how their God's mom dressed, too. That's the funniest part about it. Mary dressed wearing a hijab and modest clothes, bro.
Every city should have the rights that we have, where you can wear whatever you want to wear, practice whatever religion you want to practice, and you shouldn't be persecuted one way or the other.
Yeah.
But when you get a country like England that just lets them in, mass migration, and then you're ignoring the chaos that comes with it, that's not good. And that makes you wonder, like, are they wanting the society to deteriorate to the point where they can say, hey, we're going to make new laws to protect you? Because you need to protect. So you have mass surveillance everywhere, more police on the streets.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The mass surveillance, the flock cameras that they're putting up everywhere, it's so if women show their hair, they get stoned. What? It's definitely not the Antichrist agenda coming into fruition, where every single person has a spy device on them at all times, where they're going to limit how much meat you can buy, where they're going to limit your text messages and who you talk to, where you go, what hours you leave the house. It's definitely not that for when the Antichrist comes, which you guys know nothing about. No, it's for if women show their hair. It's Muslims that are controlling these cameras. It's Muslims that are charging us interest. It's the Muslims doing all these things, right? That's the deteriorating society, is where women cover themselves. That's just society gone wrong. And dude, even in these Muslim countries, that's the funny part about it, is the women aren't forced to wear the hijab, bro. The Muslims' point is we're trying to get the message across to people. I've never met a sheikh or anyone in this space that would ever want to forcibly convert anyone to Islam. They want to give people the message. If anything, they need to be more pushy with it. I mean, if I'm going to be quite honest, of telling people the truth. Because we're not doing a good job at it now. Most Muslims I know have like never even told someone about the faith in their entire lives. They just go about minding their own business. And this is what happens. This is what happens. Now women covering themselves up, that's the real oppression. Can someone explain that to me? They love using Afghanistan as an example, what they do there. And even what they show about Afghanistan isn't accurate. I have friends that went there, and it's completely against the narrative they talk about. The women in Afghanistan, they can't even leave the house. They're not allowed to speak to each other. And then my friend Arab goes there, and there's women out shopping all over the place. I was in Saudi Arabia. That's like the Muslim capital of the world. Women without hair covered all over the place. Turkey, same way. Bosnia, same way. So the one example they use is of Afghanistan, where it's not even accurate. It's still propaganda of what is actually going on there. That's like us painting Christianity an entire brush based off of what a small minority does, like the Jehovah's Witnesses. Well, you guys aren't allowed to drink coffee. And then they'd be like, well, no, that's only Jehovah's Witnesses. I'd be like, no, but you guys can't drink coffee. It's like, what? What are you talking about? It's really unfortunate. I'm going to say this again. Joe Rogan, sometime this century, bring one Muslim on your podcast, bro. Just one who can come and explain the perspective of what Islam is from the mouth and the tongue of someone practicing the faith. Not of some other guy who's getting paid by a foreign agency and has an agenda to push a certain narrative. Please. I recommend the Muslim Lantern. If I think someone should go on and do it, I think Muslim Lantern does the best job. He's my favorite guy in the space, personally. Most people do dawah the wrong way, though people who do dawah need a clock like the Muslim Lantern. What are you guys talking about in the chat? I'm reading both chats, by the way, YouTube and Kick. I don't see any outrage when nuns dress modestly, yet when they see a sister who does something for some reason, that's wrong. Dude, it's not even that, man. Like, I'm telling you, I've been to church, and the women there, like, they dress with, like, their entire leg showing. Obviously, their hair is uncovered. Even though historically they wore veils throughout time, their breasts are out. It's just so silly, man. And like I said, dude, no Muslims are coming and trying to change the rules and for Sharia law. Part of being a Muslim is following the laws of your land. That's part of Sharia law. Over 90% of Sharia law is self-imposing laws. Use your left hand when you're in the bathroom. Don't eat when you're in the bathroom. Pray 5 times a day. Give charity. If you're a ruler, be just. If you're charging people a tax, you have certain rules that you need to fulfill. You need to protect these people. If a military-age man pays the zakat tax, he doesn't have to go to war. The Muslims have to. And if you can't fulfill those rules and obligations that you promised with taking their money, then give them their money back, which historically happened, where Muslim leaders charged people a tax and then they returned it because they couldn't fulfill the obligations. What happens in America right now? I can't even drive my car on the road without hitting a pothole, even in Dallas. If I go on any of the side streets, I'm scraping the bottom of my car. Where is the tax money going? The schools suck. The teachers all complain about being underpaid. They got to buy pizza out of their own salary where they cut the slices into literal like Milda slices, bro. You get 2 bites as a kid. It's just sad to see that this country's on the path to destruction. They're laying the Antichrist agenda with phones, with AI collecting all of our data, with flock cameras everywhere. I have drones flying outside of my house nonstop. And the biggest people in the world are still talking about the Muslims. God forbid people covered their hair. God forbid there weren't poopy butt sex flags flying around everywhere. I mean, come on. Come on. New York City's cooked with the potholes. Yeah, and they have the highest taxes. Highest taxes are in New York City. You have to pay state tax, you have to pay city tax, federal income tax. Oh, Joe Rogan. Oh, Joe Rogan. Ay. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe. Hopefully Joe actually gets a Muslim on the podcast. Like, it's just crazy, but what are you going to do? It's so much stuff, man. It's like I'm looking at my doc to. It's like I got to keep repeating myself in these videos because it's all these different people spreading the same narratives, man. Let's see this one. Let's do some clips. And if you guys want clips to react to, drop them in the Discord. The Discord's in the chat. Look at what 𝐂𝐸𝐳𝐬𝐬 said, dude. Like when you think it can't get crazier with these people, look what 𝐂𝐸𝐳𝐬𝐬 just said.
I'll tell you right now, I would much rather pay for rockets to go to the moon than pay to keep a bunch of Africans alive from starving.
Let me just play that one more time.
I'll tell you right now, I would much rather pay for rockets to go to the moon than pay to keep a bunch of Africans alive from starving instantly, and it's not even close. Like
he doubled down on it.
Would instantly would rather do that. And why is that? Because it's not my obligation to keep every African alive. I don't care about that. I mean, ultimately, if they can't keep themselves alive, maybe they're at a population rate that isn't sustainable based off of their, their environment, right? I mean, that's it. The moon's ours. Yeah, exactly. Like I would
like it's this kid's fault for starving to death. It's his fault. And you know, I know this is going to sound a bit liberal, but you know, the Imam was talking about this at the khutbah, and it really is despicable how there's so many people in the world with billions of dollars, some are trillionaires, and a tiny fraction of their money could actually fix these problems. That's why, like in Islam, where if every believer actually just gave their zakat, 2.5% of their excess wealth to charity every year, we wouldn't have starvation. We wouldn't have all of these major world problems that the UN is constantly trying to solve. It would be fixed. And what's even crazier about that is me personally, I've been in so many instances in my life where I've given the last money in my bank account to family members that need it, where I'm then eating eggs for the next few days. Or I've given it to my staff team because business had a bad few months and I'm not paying myself out for months. I'm personally struggling so I can keep paying other people. So on a smaller scale, I'm taking a hit in my personal life to do the right thing and help other people. And I'm sure you guys have done the same thing. If you're a dad, a father, a husband, and you're putting other people before yourself, you're giving charity to help to other people, sacrificing your own personal life, your own lifestyle. And what these guys have to do is give a fraction of their money to where it doesn't even affect their life. That's the craziest part about it, is they could give just a little bit. It doesn't change how they live at all. They're still flying private. They're still eating the best steaks. They can still support all their 12 baby mamas like Elon Musk. And they don't do it, you know? It is a bit insane to think about. It's really sad.
Much rather spend money on space exploration than keeping Africans alive or anybody else, South Americans or some other fucking group of people. It's not my problem. And I don't
look at, I'm not saying it's even our obligation, right? I'm not saying it's our moral duty or it's Elon Musk's moral duty to solve these problems, but just putting myself in his shoes, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you try to solve these problems and help people out? You know? It doesn't affect your lifestyle at all. And millions of us out here are constantly doing things to help other people that does affect our lifestyle, where we can't travel, we can't do certain things, have to live in a smaller house, have to get a cheaper car. Maybe can't even afford a car, depending on the situation.
Why would I care? So anyway, no, it's about America first. And as far as I know, Africa's not in America. I'll tell you right now, I would.
It's just such a weird way to put it, you know? Such a weird thing to say. And then let's see, this is Asmongold saying he wants to live in a Christian country. Let's see.
I want to live in a Christian country. That's right. Is this something like I don't want to mandate Christianity. I don't want to make people have to be Christian, but I want to have the laws and the culture and the predominant religion of the country be Christianity. Does that make sense? I would never force anybody into a religion, and I think people can enjoy other.
And you know why that is? It's because he can then do whatever he wants. He can date his OF girl, and there's no consequences for it because the people don't actually practice the faith, and there's no red lines. They can take money for gambling. That's like, bro, all these guys, man, like they make millions of dollars, millions of dollars a year gambling. What happens if Islam comes into play? Oh, nope, sorry. All these worldly, hedonistic things that you love, can't do them anymore, bro. That's why. They love the dunya, bro. They love this world. And what's really like crazy about it is Islam having these rules is for our own benefit. If you, dude, you know how many lives every single year alcohol destroys that I've seen personally? Family members getting into fights, police coming, people divorcing, splitting up, then with gambling, going and losing the life savings, betting the mortgage. For what? For what? And the funny thing about all of these sins being banned in Islam is that they're all connected to each other. You drink alcohol, you're more likely to do drugs, you're more likely to gamble. When you gamble, you then have to take out a loan, and with the loan comes interest, and that interest stacks up. And let's say you gamble some more, now you're in even more debt, and now you're a slavery to interest forever. Like they're all connected to each other.
Religions if they choose to, but
so what it comes down to, it's just he prioritizes his worldly desires. That's why.
I think these should be minority religions and not the overall religion. I just want you to see what my point of view is. Aren't you an atheist? I am an atheist, but I recognize that I enjoy the privileges of Christian culture that I grew up in and that I recognize, and I don't want my country to change away from the way it was whenever I grew up. And I want, you know, people, the next generation, to grow up in the same way that I did.
Now I get the cultural thing, right? The majority of, you know, the biggest musicians in the world, some of the best sculptures throughout time through the Roman Empire, a lot of prominent art pieces were done by Christians. And a reason that is because Islam prevents a lot of those things at the core, because it knows that it can stem into something demonic. It can branch off into something demonic. So there's a lot of worldly benefits from being Christian, you know, and even the mindset that, you know, God died for your sins, so then you can, you know, do whatever you want, which isn't real Christianity. They shouldn't be doing that. And a lot of them know that, but that's just the mindset they have. Once you accept Islam, there's real accountability, man. You have to pray 5 times a day. This is bare minimum, as the ladies say. It's bare minimum. You have to give to charity every year. It's no longer if you're in a nice mood or you're feeling it, or you made millions and millions of dollars gambling, so now you want to give some money to people for content so you get more views. No, there's none of that anymore, bro. It's the age of fitna and chaos, where basic morality is what's attacked nowadays. By the way, this guy never leaves his house. Like he did you guys see the video where 𝐂𝐤𝐳𝐲𝐬 showed where he lives? It's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Look at this. This is just proof that anyone can make it as a content creator.
$200,000 for a dirtiest house and setup you have ever seen. 𝐂𝐤𝐳𝐷 worth $15 million, but has the nastiest kitchen in the world. Even his pets seem to be roaches, and the more you look at it, the messier it gets. Despite this chaos, he still managed to host guests and cook lunch, though you probably wouldn't want to eat it.
This is proof that if anyone stays consistent with content long enough, you're going to make it. Because why are we listening to this guy?
What is up
This
with
is his room.
the cup collection? Look at the amount of sauce
This
he has.
is literally his room
here
where
from,
he,
like,
where he streams
Chick-fil-A or
from.
whatever that is.
What are you talking? That's obviously.
I couldn't even step in there without vomiting.
I bet that's the room right now. That is Warcraft. No wonder why it looks this way.
Okay.
And here, and here.
Chips and soda everywhere.
Of right there.
Yeah, we
Oh
were
my gosh.
chilling.
That, I'm probably not the most appropriate person to be saying this, but you probably should eat out less and move more. I'm just assuming. I'm making a terrible assumption based on this table.
I will have you know that I cooked myself a steak after I walked a mile down to the store to get another one of the sodas. I cooked myself a steak last night. I don't want to hear it.
It's not cute, man. It's not cute.
Okay?
You're a grown man. You're calling for us to go to war with Iran. Like, this is who people listen to. Millions of views, by the way. Look at every single video. Millions of views. Imagine if he looks max. How about he just cleans his room? Like, I want to talk about looks maxing. Can you just clean his room? Get rid of hundreds of bottles of soda and old chili everywhere? 600K, 600K, 800K, million, 700K, 300K, 1.4, 400K. It's all in a few days. All right. So don't get upset by this. Be grateful. Be grateful that's not your life. Sitting behind a camera all day, spewing rhetoric like this about how we should send rockets into space, which probably isn't even real, bro. Like, if I'm going to be real with you.
Would much rather.
Talking about how you'd rather rockets than starving African kids. And I'm not saying you can't do both. That's not my point. But, like, to clarify that that's what you would rather do is just psychotic. And what did the Prophet Muhammad say? I don't even need to pull it up on ChatGPT. I tweeted it. What did the Prophet Muhammad say? People love to say, why do you need a religion to tell you morality? It's because of people like 𝐂𝐤𝐳𝐷. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, he is not a believer whose stomach is filled while his neighbor goes hungry. He is not a believer whose stomach is filled while his neighbor goes hungry. Us following this man, we're the enemy, right? Yeah, makes sense. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe. Hit the smash button. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Let's talk to the chat for a minute. Do you guys agree that that's his main reason for wanting to live in a Christian country, is just so he can keep doing, living his lifestyle? Nothing wrong with going to space. I agree. Muslims are commanded to seek all forms of beneficial knowledge. Muslim astronauts have prayed in space in accordance with the fiqh of space. Yeah, I agree, bro. I'm not saying I completely agree. Not saying we can't go to space and, explore the depths of the ocean and go into the wilderness. Watching you from the Netherlands, brother. Respect you very much. Thank you, bro. Thank you for the 27. And Stoic, thank you for the 1 gifted. Waria, thank you for the $2. I'm gonna set TTS up soon too, so you guys can do TTSs. 𝐂𝐤𝐳𝐷 could live the same way in most Muslim countries, though. Yeah, that's the funny thing about it, is he still could. His lack of humanity is the problem, and Yeah, that's just, it's what happens when you sit in your room all day and you have roaches crawling up your leg. So I'm saying streaming makes people insane. It literally drives them crazy to where they lose basic humanity. He should go there and meet with starving kids. You should go hungry for a day. Because that's another beautiful thing about Islam, and it's one of the wisdoms to Ramadan, is we start to get a little tiny glimpse, just a glimpse into the perspective of the hungry person when we're forced to fast for a month straight. Softens our hearts, gets us closer to God, and puts us in the shoes of someone that isn't blessed with food and water. Just one of the little wisdoms to why we do what we do. But he's never forced himself to struggle. He sits in his room all day, drinks 10,000 sodas, makes money, God knows how, dates OnlyFans girls. I want to live in a Christian country so I can keep dating my OnlyFans girls. Screw them starving African kids. No fulfillment. No, there's nothing fulfilling about that at all. I'm telling you, like, I wouldn't even do content if I didn't have a real message to spread, or I didn't want to combat this degeneracy. I wouldn't even do it anymore. Being straight up with you guys. Back when I was doing content with my mom, my main goal was just getting attention. If I'm being completely honest, it was just getting my brand bigger and bigger and bigger. And then once I realized that's not fulfilling, that's when I stopped posting for like 2 years. And then I only came back once I got Iman. I was like, why are so many people trashing this faith? This is ridiculous. And I started talking about it. If I didn't have something to actually say, like, what's the point? And then I look at a lot of these other streamers, they make nonsense content. It's not even like, it's nothing. It's just complete slop to rot your brain. Ironically, he makes his money from donos, but he's against donating. That's funny. What do you guys think? You agree with like the takes? Am I basically just saying what's on your mind? I'm assuming. And it drains your soul to talk about nothing all day, every day. Yeah, for sure. Maron. That's what I'm going to start saying. Maron. What do you mean you don't want the starving African kid to get a piece of bread? You want another rocket to go up into space? What's the matter with you, huh? I'm going to get the wooden spoon and the slippers. I'm just going to start throwing it at the camera when they start saying stupid stuff. What are you talking about, huh? Binga, binga. Sonny, you should join the debate as well. I think viewers also play a part in aspiring these content creators to create more degenerate content. Yeah, 100%. And like I said, most of them bought their view. It's so poop. It's so poop and fake. It's all smoke and mirrors. Because all their numbers are fake, bro. Like even me right now, I have 500 combined viewers. Dude, that's more than most of these people that supposedly have tens of thousands. Still. 10K on Dean the Great. Yeah. Fart sound. 2K on this guy. Yeah. 4K. Yeah, sure. And then Twitch, it's even worse, bro.
What? This guy's no... Bro, that guy's real?
10K people watching this extra Emily.
Go ahead,
Just like,
complain,
bro.
complain.
Why are you still sick? You do realize the last time we collabed, you were also...
Yeah, just like I can't watch 5 seconds of it. No, thank you. Let's do some more clips. What is this? Oh my God, that's so gay. Oh, it's so gay. Why can't it be the other way around? What happened to that? Some people might get mad at this. I provide. if I'm talking to a girl for marriage, hypothetically, I'm the provider. I give us a beautiful house, a life, trips. I'm reasonable. I'll talk to you. I'll hear you out. But there's certain responsibilities, bro. Like, I'm just saying, for my relationship, if there's dishes out in the sink, it's not my responsibility to clean it. And I know people might get mad at that, but it's not. Now, do I help out because I'm a nice guy and because my example is the prophet of God who also helped out around the house? Yes, I still help out. But ultimately, it's not my responsibility. So it's like, what happened to women wanting to do nice things for the men they love, like helping to make his life easier? Why is it that modern men are afraid of their wives? Like, it's just so cringy, bro. It's so cringy. Ladies want independence. This is what I've explained to girls. It's like, I'm already fully independent. I do my own laundry. I get my own food. I clean up after myself. Like, I don't need all of that, but it's just nice. It's just nice when I'm working and I'm stressed out to have you taking care of some of those things. And I don't know why that's so crazy to say nowadays. I really don't. Did you guys see this? Oh my gosh, bro. Are you Sicilian? Yes.
We're all taking.
Look at this. You're not even going to believe this.
One time we're in the shower, I said, hey. I looked at my boys. One time we're in the shower, I said, hey. I looked at my boys. Whose pee-pee is that? Mine. Whose is that? Mine. Whose is this? Yours, Daddy. I said, who gets to play with that? Who? Only you.
What?
And yours is you.
He showered with his kids?
One time we're in the shower, I said, hey.
I'm a numbers guy. 1 pee-pee, 2 pee-pee, 3 pee-pee, 1 hoo-ha. Statistically, there shouldn't be girls touching your pee-pee. Only you touch your pee-pee. What the This is the guy that like people listen to?
In the shower, son, Daddy, and the 2 boys. I said, whose pee-pee is that?
What? He told it again?
We're all taking a shower, sons, Daddy, and the 2 boys. I said, whose pee-pee is that? And like looking at me all weird. I said, whose dangling is that? Mine? Whose is that? Mine. Whose is this? Yours? Okay. Who gets to play with yours? Who? Only you. God gave it to you for you to play with it. Who gets to play with yours? Only me. Who gets to touch that? Nobody. Okay. Who can one day touch it? Who? When one day you meet a girl, then she'll do that and help you touch it. But we're all taking it.
Yo, Batman could have me by both hands up against the wall. Smashed wall, concrete everywhere, choking me to death, and he couldn't get this information out of me. 1 pee-pee, 2 pee-pee. What are we talking about, bro? The kuffar have gone insane. Yes, the kuffar have completely lost it. What the What is this, bro?
What's that?
Jake Lang got cooked on a pod?
Age of consent in Arizona.
I don't know.
It's 18.
Okay.
Yeah, the girl you fucking was 15, bro.
No, that's a Groiper hoax.
You want me to show you
man.
the pictures or no?
It's all Groiper hoax.
It's all Groiper
Bullshit.
hoax? Really?
Yes.
Really?
100%.
These look pretty real, bro.
No, Nick
Let's
Fuentes,
see.
his little fucking
You come to my
Groipers
next
attack me.
protest in Texas, I can if you want me
Not
to.
even-
Guess what's
not
your
even-
You
number?
know what's funny too? Is I had, after the Jake Lang thing, I had so many girls reaching out, DMing me dirt on him. But out of respect, I just didn't do it. Because I don't like taking things that are done behind the scenes and making them public.
True.
Oh, really? Not true?
Yes, not
Oh,
true.
you're going to say it's unequivocally false?
Yes, it is false.
Really?
Yes, it's a Groiper hoax.
Oh, no,
Completely.
I know the person wasn't 15.
Groiper
So are
hoax.
you saying that you weren't...
This is bullshit. This
Oh,
is
these
a
are
Groiper hoax.
fake.
This is Groiper fiction.
So these are fraudulent?
Yes, it's fraudulent.
Okay, what's your
Yes.
evidence for that?
These are fucking.
I mean, these are text messages. That's your age.
That's
Jake,
not
right?
mine.
Oh, that's not. That's
no,
not your
that's
Instagram?
not. I did not send any of those. This
really?
is bullshit. Groyper fishing hoax.
Oh, they fake those
yes.
too, or what?
Yes,
Oh.
this is a bullshit hoax.
Oh, so every attack on you, is fake.
No, there's plenty of legitimate attacks on me, like the bombs
Like
being
when
thrown
you-
at me, like my head being split open in Minneapolis. Those are legitimate attacks.
When a Muslim saved him.
These are character attacks.
When do you turn 16?
This bullshit.
What
Everybody
state do you
knows
live
that. It's
in?
been freaking Alex
Arizona.
Rosen, the number one predator
just moved
hunter
here.
in the country, could prove that it was false. Okay,
Really?
Alex Rosen came out of my defense, so don't start with this bullshit.
Alex
Groyper
Rosen,
hoax.
wasn't he the fucking loser at the what's that guy's
Alex,
name?
yes, Chud the Builder.
Yeah,
We
I'm not
stand
gonna listen to that
together.
fucking
We
dumbass,
stand
fat fucking
together,
loser
okay?
racist, bro.
No, he's not a racist. He's
I
a
just
man
turned
that stands up
30,
for
honey.
children.
Why you up? Well, maybe you should do an investigation into you.
No, he
So
did,
really
and I came out
why
completely
you up so late,
clean.
young lady?
This is
nice
bullshit.
and IDK. I'd be a night owl. I might be too young for you, Lowell. You said how old are you, baby?
I didn't say
Double
that.
texted
This
you.
is ridiculous.
Double texted. Ay, ay, ay. What is this?
God and Jesus, they're not the same person? God and Jesus, they're not the same person?
No. We believe that God is unlike his creation. Right?
Jesus is the Son.
God is not a man. God is not a woman. God is not a white man in the sky with a beard. God does not have children. God does not have daughters. God does not have neighbors and cousins and pets and cats and dogs. No, God is unique, and he is the creator that created us, right? So he sent us revelation through messengers like Abraham, Moses, Noah, David, all the prophets that came, and what did they teach? They taught monotheism, right? Worship one God, do not worship idols, do not worship statues, do not worship monkeys and elephants, whatever else is out there, right? So the message of each prophet was exactly the same. Why? Because if the message was different, then we have an excuse on the day of judgment. We can say, well, God, you confused me. You sent a different message to these people, and then you said the Trinity, and now you're saying one God again. It's confusing. I don't want to be held accountable, right? But if the message is,
as the Bible says, the God is not the author of confusion.
The same and is consistent, right? Throughout all the time of all the prophets, the message is consistent. And if you don't follow the message, then you're going to be in trouble, because God said.
This is a good simplified way of doing it. Wizzy, thank you for the gifted sub. 1 PP, 2 PP, 3 PP. Three PP4.
All the worst people are. Well, all the worst people are very, very excited about Lindsey Graham's death. All the worst people. But listen, whenever you talk about mortality or the passage of time, it's a big reminder that you don't have time to waste. I mean, it's just a reality. And we just had a baby. That means we are super duper busy. There's no time to waste. And that's also true when it comes to your business. We all have our own time-saving hacks for everyday life. If you're a business owner, how can you save time hiring? ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter has a new feature that quickly lets
entire Patty's
This was the day after Lindsey Graham died, Top Goy.
Pub family.
And he transitioned Lindsey Graham dying into an ad read. How high are the bills, Ben Shapiro? Are you guys losing that much money? You have to transition one of your top goyams dying. BB's best friend, according to his own mouth. That goes into an ad read. Oh my gosh, bro. The Kufar. The Kufar. I'm just going to change my channel name to Sunny Reacts to Kufar. That's all it is. I just need to watch what they say and just make a stupid face. What do I even have to say about these people?
The people who know.
What is this?
So the highest rates of prostitution in the world, #1 is Buddhist, all the rest are Christian, top 10. Highest rates of theft in the world, every single one, all top 10 are Christian. Highest rates of alcohol addiction in the world, top 10 are all Christian. These are all the countries. Whoa. Highest homicide rates per capita, all Christian, literally all 10. Most dangerous gangs in the world, top 6, all Christian, except for Yakuza, that's
Japan,
non-religious. Largest drug dealers in the world, top 6 are all Christian. You know, so when you look at like who's kind of causing a lot of these real problems, who started World War I, who started World War II. Like, I look at like the causes of a lot of these issues, and they're not Muslims. As much as they want to tell us that we have this big Muslim problem, I just don't see it. The statistics don't show it. And so, yeah, I think that's just kind of the classic perversion of our culture is like, hey, get the Christians and Muslims to hate each other, get the blacks and the whites to hate each other, get the left and the right to hate each other.
How is Dan a Fed? This is what I'm saying. Like, it's so obvious that Nick Fuentes is 1,000 times more of a Fed than Dan could ever be. Like I said, I think one of the strongest evidence pieces of that is after getting the message of Islam, how Nick reacts. I really think that's one of the biggest evidences, is because hearing about monotheism, about God sending messengers throughout time, about how perfect sense that makes. And then Nick decides to then go and attack Islam, compared to someone like Dan, who just uses his brain and realizes, oh, actually the Islam hate is forced. People are paying to try to cause division between Christians and Muslims. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Much more sense. And here's the thing. You won't even hear Muslims blaming that on Christianity. Because we understand that your doctrine doesn't teach to go and do prostitution and do all these things. Anyways, Emery's with the 27. Thank you. Good luck, brother. I'd love to see you live stream more often, inshallah. Thank you, bro. Or sister. Thank you. I appreciate it. How is Dan a Fed? I'm saying he's not. I'm saying he's not a Fed. 1 second, guys. I got to handle something. I used to. If you want to send some chats, I'll read them in a second. Hold up. I got to just do something. One second. Two seconds. Unk's out of town. Yeah. Beck's in New York still. He'll be back soon. And we'll get back to the streams. In the meantime, we're both doing some solo stuff. Sonny, who's your favorite companion? Probably Abu Bakr. But honestly, like, I'm bad with the names. That's something I struggle with. I've heard a lot of the stories, but the names I always forget. Hi, bro. I like your show. Thank you, guys. Thank you. And we're going to be expanding into a lot of really cool content, too. Doing desktop streams and, like, staying with reactions in the meantime. But we're going to be doing a lot of really cool stuff. I'm just in the planning phase right now. Like, we're going to be having a lot of really cool collabs, doing more interviews. I have a few series ideas. And then I want to get out and really, like, do more filmmaking, too. Excited for the IQ maxing. Yeah. And, you know, once I'm done with like segments and stuff, I'm going to start switching over to Kick, where I'm just going to be like chilling more. So I'm kind of done with like reacting to clips right now. Let me see. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff to cover. Should we just do this one real quick? Should we do the Mamdani?
Benjamin.
You guys want to watch the Mamdani clip real quick? Let's do it. Oh my gosh, 1 second. Let's do this one. Mamdani called out the big Yahoo. Let's see it.
Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal, the architect of a horrific genocide against the Palestinian people. He is responsible for the killing of more than 73,000 people, for the maiming of tens of thousands of children as those who survive undergo amputation without anesthesia, for the targeting of neonatal hospitals and maternity care centers, denying newborns even the chance to live, for the countless people he starved as he blocked food and humanitarian aid from reaching them, for the gunning down of hundreds of aid workers and journalists. And just last month, the UN confirmed that Palestinian children continue to be deliberately targeted and killed by Israeli armed forces, more than 8 months after the so-called ceasefire. The list goes on and on, all as we, as Americans, pay for
That's the worst part about it. That's the worst part about it, is it's not just the conflict going on in the Middle East. Why are we so involved? Who cares? It's because we're the ones funding it. We come up with this technology. Chosen's take and steal it. It's us. It ultimately comes down to us, which is the saddest part. And without our support, it wouldn't be able to happen.
There is a reason the International Criminal Court issued a warrant for his arrest. As human beings, we have spent generations building a shared understanding that there are crimes so grave they offend all of humanity. Anyone with their eyes, with their heart, with their conscience should recognize the devastation he has wrought and understand that he belongs before a court of law. As I've said, I agree with the ICC that Benjamin Netanyahu should be arrested and tried for his crimes, as I do for anyone else charged by the ICC. My administration has reviewed every avenue available under applicable law to determine whether New York City could execute the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant if Benjamin Netanyahu came here. It is clear that we do not have the independent legal authority to enforce this warrant. The federal government, however, does, and I call on them to join the ICC and execute this warrant. And I want to be equally clear. Benjamin Netanyahu is not welcome in New York City, nor is any other war criminal at large. While we cannot end the genocide on our own, we can decide whether our silence will become another weapon, and we can examine every tool we have to defend the humanity and dignity of all people. That is my commitment to you.
Man, gotta respect him for saying it. Takes a lot of balls to be mayor and go out and talk about this stuff. 100%. And then what did Israeli's ambassador say? So this is what the Israeli ambassador responded with.
The person who should be arrested is not our prime minister. Is you, Mr. Mamdani. So let me make it very clear.
And why is that?
Prime Minister Netanyahu.
You should love him. You should love him. He hosts pride parades too. You guys had the biggest one of the year. Actually, biggest one ever. Pardon my French.
Will come to New York. He will stand at this very podium.
You know, isn't it funny too that you don't even need like a political influencer or someone to tell you what to think? Just listen to the accent. Doesn't it just sound like the bad guy in a movie?
He will stand at this very podium. He will speak for the state of Israel. He will defend the people of Israel. And there is nothing you can do to stop him.
Yeah, that's the sad thing, is he's right about that. Even as mayor, leader of New York, still can't do nothing about it. Let's see. Now Netanyahu goes on Fox News. He comes on Fox to give his side of the story. Let's see.
He's fomenting hate. He's supposed to be the mayor of all New Yorkers, Jews, Christians, Muslims, everyone. But he's trying to turn one group against the other, and he's foisting hate and fear. I speak to Jewish Americans in New York, and they're afraid right now. And I don't think it's accidental that after he made this hate speech against Israel and against me, the next day, a Jew is stabbed coming out of a synagogue. I think, and with a cry of Allah is Akbar, Allah Akbar. And you know what that means. So I think that it's shameful. This thing is very bad for New York. I think it's very bad for...
If you ever see a Muslim supposedly screaming Allahu Akbar when doing an act, that's how you know it's not a Muslim. Any practicing Muslim knows that their last words should be the testimony of faith, which is La ilaha illallah. But why don't the movies show them screaming La ilaha illallah? It's because that doesn't sound as beautiful. I mean, that sounds more beautiful than Allahu Akbar, which they can twist and demonize. Imagine in all the movies when a plane was about to fly into a building, they went, Alhamdulillah. It wouldn't work. They have to scream, Allahu Akbar. So it's just like a pretty easy way to tell that it's a false flag.
Very bad for peace. But the answer to your question, I intend to come and speak.
Yeah, it sounds too pure.
Speak for Israel and for the Israeli-American alliance from the podium of the United Nations.
What a clown. I don't know, man. It's like, yeah, there's some evidence that, you know, he's funded by Soros. There's, you know, we've said in the past, there's a good chance that they use him as like a pawn, where if something happens in New York, they blame it on him, stirs a bunch of hate against Muslims. But there's so much confusion and chaos out there. Anyone that's telling you what it is, it's all theory at the end of the day. You know, I can't sit here and pretend like we know exactly 100%, you know, Mamdani's an op, he's a fed, he's on the right path. No one truly knows. Now, there's good and there's bad things he's done. This takes balls. You know, he also went in front of the president and he called what's happening in Gaza a genocide, which was the first time on camera that that's ever happened. Now he's gone and called for his arrest. Like, these are things that are moving in the right direction, right? But then he's also gone and he's hosted pride parades and done a bunch of different sus things. So who knows what to really make of it at the end of the day? Who knows? What we do know is that God's been exposing all the hypocrites in record fashion. All the enemies, the kuffar, they've been getting exposed. So it's one of those things that we just got to see and play out and then understand what are the actionables that we can do in our personal life to help with these problems that are going on in the world. Obviously, spreading awareness is one. Obviously, not giving our money to people that are trying to destroy us. Giving our money to organizations that are pushing for propaganda against the faith, trying to demonize Muslims when we're just not the problem. Lock in on your deen. Brother, they're laying the Antichrist agenda in front of our eyes. I said this earlier this stream. Outside my house, there's drones. They're putting up flock cameras on every single road in America. We have spy devices that are on us at all times. Our bank accounts are linked to this. Most stores are going cashless. Soon, you literally can't operate in society in 2026 without a smartphone. It's like, you know, historically, the way the devil worked and taking control over people, is it happened gradually. You can't grab too much control at once or the people will revolt. It has to be done slowly over time. And right now, that snowball is just getting massive and it's accelerating at speeds that we've never seen before. I mean, 5 years ago, you actually used to be able to live without a smartphone. Now you can't do anything. If you go to a gas station, they're not going to have a map so that you can get around. If you go to most restaurants, you need a QR code. Like I said, places aren't even taking cash anymore. They're rejecting cash. Hard dollars. You need to pay with a phone. And people are becoming so reliant on Apple Pay. A lot of us are leaving the house without even having our wallet on us. We just expect places to take Apple Pay. And then we go to Walmart and we're like, what do you mean you don't take Apple Pay? Ah. Also, restaurants are going paperless with menus. Yeah, I know, yeah. You need a QR code. They don't even have paper menus anymore. So, got to give Mamdani where props are. I mean, it takes a lot of balls to do this. But is he still controlled or not? I don't fully know. And anyone pretending that they do or they don't is lying. You got to think, like, you know, New York is one of like the main cities in all of America. Do you just become in a position of power without being controlled? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. All right. I think we're going to end on YouTube for the day. I want to just kind of chill with the chat for a little bit. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching today's stream. It was fun. We're going to be more consistent with the solo streams. Like I said, have a lot of really cool segments planned. Just been dealing with a lot of stuff in the personal life, working on my agency, continuing to build out the companions consistently. We have this whole app built, just been working on the development of that, getting more people in. So it's been going really good. And of course, we're hosting a call June 30th. So, I mean, we're hosting a call on July 30th. So make sure you click the link at the top of the description to come and see what the Companions is all about, what we've done. We have a whole new slideshow that we just built showing off everything that's going on inside. So make sure you guys come, join, check it out. And that's it from us, me and this one. I'm going to chill with chat. I might play a little bit of Fortnite and just like hang out for a bit. But yeah, I just have a lot of stuff going on, and especially in the personal life right now. So it's hard balancing everything. I'm not like a typical content creator where my whole job is just content. I have businesses on top of this that I'm running. So everyone, make a Kick account. Head over to Kick. That's where I'm going to be streaming right now. I want to see if I can play Fortnite if it's set up on here. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. The link is in the description to head over to Kick. So make sure you guys click that, make an account, and I'll see you guys in a